And I'm not sure why, but I can't turn the camera around when the video's going like that. So I'll hang out here. I'm having maybe like a minus day. Um, there's a couple of words in the Bible. Actually, there's only one, I think, where God describes himself as a jealous God. If you've ever heard that, you're like, what does he mean? Well, there are two words that are of interest to me, and I never do get them well differentiated. But one is jealousy, one is envy. And the way I tend to think about jealousy is I have something and I don't really want to give it away to somebody else. I want to keep it. I want to hang on to it for myself. I think of that as jealousy. And so God describes himself as jealous. Well, what has he got that he wants to keep? If my definition of jealousy makes any sense to you, I would apply it to God and say God wants to keep his reputation. He wants you to love him, to be fascinated by him, to adore him, to love him. And he's jealous of that. He does not want to lose that to somebody else. And then the other word, envy. Envy is what somebody else has, and I wish I had it. And so the thing that I'm envious of over the years, particularly the last few years, is good health. And when I come out back here, I think about my health, and I'll turn the camera around for a second, and we'll take a look at the yard here real quick. And Debbie's managed to fill it with beautiful flowers. I love those zinnias over there. And then she's got some sedums that are really going to bloom. Daylilies there, lilies there. Tomatoes are blooming. I forget the name of those flowers and those flowers. And she's got an old kind of a ficus here. And you got all this out here. And we got a little space. What was this? Maybe 8 by 8 or something. And then we had these two sides. This one we redid this summer. This side here. And you've got that side. And so you've got space. So I could be envious of other people's space, but I'm also very jealous of this space because it's an outdoor space. And then you've got the space on the hillside here, which honestly I consider my own. I can't lay claim to it. The Corps of Engineers built it, and the city administers it. So technically it belongs to them, or they're responsible for it. But I still feel like it's mine. I can walk over that way about 40 feet, enter the gate, go in, and I'm in that space. And we use it every day. All of this dawned on me. When did I have my stroke? 3 years ago now, almost. And it really hit me hard that I need to be jealous of my own health. If you don't have your health, then everything else kind of struggles. Everything else is at least a chore and sometimes almost impossible. And at other times, you just give up and nothing makes sense to you anymore. So having your health is critical. And I am jealous of that health now more than ever, especially after my stroke. And I think you should be too. I think you should be very desirous of having the best possible health. I tend to look at my health in terms of ratings. If I have an A+ day, and I might have one of those every 30, 40 days, like just maxed out crazy. I get funny, and my family's like, what's up with him? He's goofy today. He's having a really good, healthy day. And I might have one or two of those every 4 or 5 weeks. Then I'll have some A days. Let's just throw out a number. I'll have 5, 6, 7, 8 days in that month that are really feeling pretty good. And then I'll have some A- days where you're kind of jealous because you had other days that were really good, and you can't quite get up to those days. And I measure the A plus to A minus, or the A minus to the B plus days by my creativity levels. If I feel like coming outside and sitting down and doing a video, I'm probably somewhere in the A minus, A plus range. When it gets to B, I'm not feeling quite good enough. And it's usually a brain fog thing. My brain feels, I don't even know what brain fog is. I'm not sure what causes it. I'm still doing a lot of research on it. I'm doing a lot of research on everything from space, light, clouds, sunlight, other types of light, red lights, reflected light, the air you breathe, the moisture in the air, your ability to breathe, types of breathing, the food you take in, the social media platforms that you're on, everything that you absorb. And that's why I call my YouTube channel Absorption 77. And there's special meanings to the number 77, and I'll get into those someday. But right now, what you absorb, what you take in, what you allow to come into your body, or you invite into your body, your mind, which is part of your body, obviously, into your skin, into your eyes, into your nose, into your mouth, into your brain through those avenues. All those things affect your health. And so your health is so critical and so easily inspired, manipulated, improved. And most people have very little idea of how to improve their health, other than to say, let me go to the doctor because I'm not feeling good. And usually that's where we have pain points. And I need to talk more about the types of pain points. But usually when you have some pain points, you say, something's not right. I got this pain in my ankle, and I wonder if I did something. I fell off the curb, and I ended up on my backside or on my front side, and my ankle has just not stopped hurting for weeks. And you think, oh, I wonder if I broke something. And so you go to the doctor, you get an x-ray, and they say, there's a bone in your foot right down here, and there's a bunch of bones in your hand and your wrist too. And they say, yeah, you did, you cracked it. And so that pain led you to identify why you're in pain. And then you can start to respond to that pain. You can start to respond to the things that hurt. And then you can start to recover. You can start to put together a health recovery plan. Sometimes it involves medicine. Sometimes it involves fresh air. Sometimes it involves light. Sometimes it involves rest. Sometimes it involves other kinds of therapy. But you're the one who's got to identify the pain. You're the one who's got to say, I'm not quite feeling right. Something's just not up to snuff. I want better health. I'm envious of good health, or I'm jealous of those times when I've had good health. I know those wind chimes might be kind of a bit much, but that's part of what's out here. And so I really want to inspire people to take the space they've had. And let me finish this. I'm trying to make videos about 10 minutes long. This one's about to approach 10 minutes. But if you ever remember the movie The Birdman of Alcatraz with Burt Lancaster, that's largely a true story. The story in the movie kind of made things up, but he basically had a space smaller than this one, I think. He may have had a couple prison cells, but he had small space. He didn't see a whole lot of sunlight. He saw light coming in through the cell window, which must have had bars on it. But he didn't have a whole lot of space. But he was able to take that space and turn it into a productive life of studying and putting out research on birds, the birds that came to his window. So I want to use that as an expression of whatever you got, you can use it. We have found out that people who are in the hospital, if they're closer to the window, they heal faster than the one that's not closer to the window. They use that space. So I want you to use your space. Take your space today and say, what have I got? And I'm going to close with these zinnias here. Use your space. All right, we'll see you the next time on these health talks about what you absorb and what you bring into your life. See you later.